Comparing exponential graphs of the form y equals a to the x, this time for a between 0 and 1, although our reference graph here is still y equals 2 to the x, where the a value is obviously 2, so greater than 1. So we want to complete the table below and then draw the graph on the set of axes provided. Now think about the fact that 0.5 is a half. So if we have a half to the negative 3, that's the same as saying 2 over 1 cubed, which is 8. So this is going to be 8. And then a half to the negative 2 in the same sort of way is going to be 4. Half to the negative 1 is clearly just 2. A half to the 0, well of course we know that's 1. Half to the 1 is of course 0.5. Half squared is 0.25 and this one's 0.125. So we have negative 3, 8, negative 2, 4, negative 1, 2. Note how they still intersect here. Then we're going to have 0.5 and 0.25 and 0.125. So we can see the shape here. It's going to go down here, and clearly this will be an asymptote. And then on this side, it's going to go like this. So this one here, 0.5 to the x, is a reflection in the y-axis of the y equals 2 to the x. So similarities. They still have the same y-intercept. The x-axis is still an asymptote, but for this one it's the positive x-axis that's the asymptote, and this one it's the negative. Then note the slope. This one starts small and then gets very, very big. This one starts big and gets very, very small. We now want to investigate other graphs, and once again I'm just going to use autograph rather than my CAS. So here I had the 2 to the x. Well, let's adjust that. Let's make that one the 0.5 to the x. So that's the 0.5 to the x we just had. And then the other graph is still y equals a to the x. So we can change the constant. Let's move it downwards. And let's go to 1 where it goes straight across. But now let's look at values between 0 and 1. So we can now see that when it's 0.9 we see this shape. We see the blue one's above the red one to the right and below to the left. So that's for 0.9. And as we make this smaller, it's going to approach this one. So the 0.6 still has the blue below the red on this side, crossing there, and then the blue above the red here. Obviously they overlay there, and then when we go to 0.4, now they've changed. The blue one is above to the left and below to the right, like so. Now, is this what we'd expect? So let's think about y is 0.5 to the x, and let's take 0.6 to the x as well. So remember, this one is the same as saying a half to the x, and this one would be the same as saying 3/5 to the x. So if x is 0, clearly both of them give us y equals 1, and that's why we got the intercept here. Let's think about x equals 1. Well, this one here would just be half, and this one here would be 0.6. So we'd expect this one to be above this one if x is 1. What about x is negative 1? Well, this one would give us y equals 2, And this one here would give us y is, just turn the fraction upside down, 5/3, which is clearly less than 2. So we'd expect this one to be below when we're on this side, equal here, and above on this side. So is that what we see? So let's change the a to 0.6. And there we go, the blue one is below on the left, they cross here, and the blue is above on the right.